Okay, so the last problem of today is about sentiment analysis. And this is a slightly fun one, because here we consider the theory that when you look at whether a sentence is good or bad, you need to see if notice if a person says but, and it's assumed that people say but in these sentences, and then you only consider what follows the but, like what comes after the but, I should say. And that's certainly true if you consider how well an apology is going to be received. So yeah, we basically need to take a sentence like this, like the food was excellent but the service was horrible. Only consider this part, and then for each word in this part we need to get the sentiment of the word, and that's defined in this dictionary. So awful has a sentiment of -5 and bad has -4 and so on. Add up all the sentiments of the words, and that gives us the overall sentiment as an integer. So that's the problem, and I think that's a fun one. So let's look at it. So here we have sentiment analysis, and I'm just going to insert an empty print statement here, because I want to use the debugger, of course. And I just noticed that the score dictionary is not included. So I think where we need to start is that we need to copy it and put it in here at the top. So now I start the debugger, run debug file, and that'll pause the execution here on this line. I go to the debug console, and now I can look at what the input text is. So we notice that's probably going to we need to do a little bit of pre-processing because it contains commas and capital letters. So nothing we haven't seen before. We first lowercase the sentence like this, and then what we can actually do is this is a bit of a cheaty way of doing it, but I'm tired. We can replace the commas with an empty string. So remember, if I took the commas and replaced them with like a word, for instance, that would be inserted. So now if I, instead of inserting that, just insert the empty string, the commas just disappear. So that is something I can do. And then maybe I anticipate that there are also periods that I need to deal with. So in order to deal with periods, I just replace the periods with empty strings like this. Okay, so I select these lines and I run them by using Shift-Alt-E. So now I run them, and now we can see that the text has been updated to this. Then I need to basically get this part of it. So the way I can do that is that I can use slicing. So remember that I have this operation that takes the bit starting at 4 and then going towards the end. So now I need to start it at the right place, namely the index of but. So where's that? I can find the index like this, and then I can do a combination of those two. So I just slice at the right index until the until the end like this. And that gives me the bit I'm interested in. My email is calling for me. So this is how I choose to pre-process the text. And now I just want to check that it's correct. I select everything, I run it, Shift-Alt-E, and the text looks fine. Then I need to get the words in this sentence, so I do text.split like this, and you can just confirm for yourself that it actually splits the sentence correctly. And then I need to basically just loop over the words in the sentence like this. And now for each word, I need to get the sentiment, because I want to eventually return the sentiment. So I start by initializing the sentiment to 0, and that's what I want to return, like this. And now I update it. So I say the sentiment should be equal to the old value of the sentiment plus the sentiment of the given word of each of the words in the rest of the sentence. So I can get those from up here. So I take the score of the given word. Now there's a slight bit of a problem that some of you might have spotted at this point, because it might be the case that this text contains a word like was that doesn't have a sentiment. So I need to actually check if word is in this dictionary. and only then get the sentiment. I think that's it. So I just stop the debugger, and then I just run the file. So it doesn't actually do anything. It doesn't print anything out, but maybe I can just check. Let's just print out the sentiment and see what it is. -5. Let's compare to the problem. It should be -5. So that's a good indication. Let's go to the tests, expand. Let's go to week 5. No, not week 5. Yeah, like that. And it works. Excellent. Okay, that was sentiment analysis, another, in my opinion, excellent problem. So I would really recommend this one.